Pause if your face feels heavy, if it looks puffy, or if it just lacks glow. You want to do a lymphatic drainage every day. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do a facial and neck lymphatic drainage so that you can move stagnant fluid out of the face. This will depuff the face, it will increase circulation, and you will have a more lifted look and a more glowing appearance. Let's do it. So we're going to get started by making sure that the area where the lymphatic fluid drains is not blocked in any way. So I just do these light pumps in this area. I do some pumps in the chest area as well, just to warm it up. This is where the fluid drains. And I'm going to be bringing all the fluid from my face down the side of my neck into this area. Okay, that's the goal. I like to say 5 to 7 passes for the sake of the video. I'm going to do 2 passes as I release this fluid out of my face. The lymphatic system is responsible for taking toxic waste out of the body. A lot of times that toxic fluid has a lot of salts and sugars, and so it makes the face look puffy, and the heaviness causes the face to sag and the muscles to hold tension. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to go right under the base of the ear, and we're going to do circular motions. There are a lot of lymph nodes in this area, so you don't want to do this in an aggressive way. You want to do firm but gentle movements. I would say a medium pressure, or the same pressure you're using to apply your moisturizer. And then we're going to bring that fluid down the neck to the front of the clavicle. We always end at the front of the clavicle. And then I come to the front. I start up under the jaw and I go out. And I go down the front of the neck, avoid the thyroid area. Bring that fluid to the front, and I'm going to do that twice. I'm going to do the back of the neck. I'm going to go above the base of the scalp. I'm going to do circular motions, and then I'm going to bring that fluid down the back of the neck, around to the front of the clavicle. Now we're going to do the chin area. I like to use my index and my middle finger. I make a V between the knuckle, and I start at the center of the chin, and I move my way out, gliding from the center toward the ear. And I'm going to push that fluid down the side of the neck to the front of the clavicle. And I'm going to do that for 2 passes. Next, I'm going to do the corners of my mouth. So I'm going to use my index finger, and I'm going to do some gentle circular motions so that I can release the tension from the corner of my mouth. This area holds a lot of tension. And then I'm going to use those 2 knuckles, index and middle finger. I'm going to put them together this time, and I'm going to move the fluid out from the center up to the top of the ear, and then go down the neck to the front of the clavicle. And then I'm going to do a little bit of tapping motion above my lips. I like to tap this area since it's not a wide area. Tap to get that fluid moving. And then I use my index finger. I start at the center and I glide that fluid from the center towards the ear and down toward the front of the clavicle. And when I do the tapping or the circular motions, I'm doing it for about 15 to 30 seconds. Next, I'm going to use my index finger and I'm going to go right to the corner of my nose and I'm going to do circular motions. And you can do this in both directions, but there's a lot of tension in this area as well. This muscle holds a lot of tension. That's why you see that smile line there. It's tension. And as you are working the muscle, you want to feel for any adhesions, any stagnation, any tightness. And if you feel any, you want to release it. And then I move the fluid out. I follow the cheekbone up to the temple. I bring that fluid down to the front of the clavicle. And I'm doing that twice as well. And this pressure should be firm so that you're not dragging the skin. You want to avoid dragging the skin. Next, I'm going to go to the eye socket area, the lower area of the eye socket. And at the corner where the eye and the nose meet, I'm going to do a light circular motion. This is a pressure point. A lot of times our sinuses get blocked right here. So I'm going to do these circular motions gently. And then I'm going to pull that fluid. I'm going to follow the eye socket bone out to the top of the temple. And then I bring that fluid down the neck to the front of the clavicle. And then I want to do the eyebrow bone. I do circular motions again at the corner of the nose and where the eyebrow bone connect. And then I trace my eyebrow bone out to the temple and I bring that fluid down. Now I like to do the 11 lines, which is in the center of the eyebrow. And I do an upward motion with my index fingers crossways, and I just bring that fluid up and then I send it around my hairline all the way down the neck to the front of the clavicle. And then I take my forefingers and I meet at the center of my forehead, and then I'm going to start to move the fluid out down the face to the neck, and I'm going to do that twice. Then I do my temple area and I do circular motions. I kind of brace my hands by placing my thumb underneath my ear. For 30 seconds, I do circular motions and then I push that fluid to the back of my head, down my neck, to the front of the clavicle. And I do that twice. And then I do the top of my head, circular motions. And then I bring that fluid down to the back of my neck and around the front. And I'm going to do that twice. And that's it. The facial lymphatic drainage usually takes about 10 minutes. I love to do it in the morning. Overnight, your body is in a sedentary position, so the fluid is not moving. Movement is what is required to get that fluid out of the body. So that is when I love to do it, but you can do it morning or night. I'm Rika. I'm a holistic esthetician. Follow for more tips on skincare that is powered by plants, herbs and botanicals, and facial massages.